What's up, everybody? Joey G in the place to be, chilling like I'm millin', like I'm Bobby Dylan. You know what I'm saying? What's going on out there, everybody? You Gananites out there. That's what I call you, the Gananites. It's Joey G, the Gananites. Like the Canaanites. Remember that? The wrestler Kane trying to act like, talking to Hulk Hogan and The Rock, and he was like, the Canaanites. If you don't watch wrestling, you don't know. But anyway, this is a Monday Night Raw, real quick review and a sports review, and that's it. Real quick thing. I'm going to go into later this week what I'm doing in a second. Monday Night Raw was all right last night. Not one of my favorite shows. It's kind of boring. Or maybe it's because I was flipping around watching the Stanley Cup, too. And maybe that's why. I was flipping back and forth between that and the Stanley Cup. But on Raw, what I did see is I know Drew McIntyre beat Finn Balor. And, man, Finn Balor's doing a lot of jobs anymore. I mean, he's always getting pinned. Always looking up to the lights at the end of the night. And Finn Balor's a great wrestler. Anybody knows his background from being Prince the Vet in Japan. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't gone to AEW yet because Finn's got the personality to fit in WWE. He can be in the big leagues. Anyway, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest this Saturday night, Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight Championship in Scotland. As we know, last time Drew had his shot there, Drew McIntyre, who in my opinion right now is the hottest name in the wrestling business right now. He is. He's the most overest wrestler, and he's like he's not a heel, but he's not a face. He's a tweener, and he's doing it great. If anybody remembers, what a tweener is, you ain't a bad guy, you ain't a good guy. You're in the middle. You're a tweener. Kind of like how only example I could give of that would be Diesel in 1995 after he lost the title to Bret Hart at Thanksgiving 1995. He came out and he said, he came out and kept it real. Went up to Vince McMahon and said, I'm not some corporate puppet you created, Vince. And he was just like, for now on, he said, I'm not going to stop slapping hands, but you better have a black glove on them. Of course, that was back in the kind of still the young age and wasn't really even wasn't the Attitude Era or Reality Era yet. You know what I mean? It was just getting there. But what I'm trying to say, if you keep up with me, is that Drew McIntyre is, he's the man right now. I mean, CM Punk's not around. You know what I mean? So how can he be over? Yeah, when Cole's personality hits, he gets out in the ring and drops some pipe bomb and drops some knowledge. Yeah, but right now, with Seth being gone, you know what I mean? Cody's cooled off big time. His feud with AJ's hot. You know what I mean? And that's going to be great. And I'm going to give you my opinions on that in a second. That's SmackDown. But Drew, yeah, I think he's winning. People say the 50-50 booking. Well, he beat Finn last night. That means he's losing Saturday to Finn's buddy, the world champion, Damian Priest. That don't mean shit anymore. But this ain't the Vince McMahon era. It's not. You know what I mean? I say Drew McIntyre. He's not, because last time they had Clash at the Castle in Scotland, it was Drew versus Roman for the Universal title. Well, for the Undisputed title. You know what I mean? And that's when Solo debuted and Drew lost. And then afterwards, he sat there in the ring with Tyson Fury and sang a song. And he just lost. You know what I mean? He was originally, I heard, booked to win that, too. That's another story in its own, too. But everybody wanted Roman Reigns to keep that title reign going. And at that time, Roman was up to 2 years being champion. So whatever's clever, right? But I think Drew wins it. The women last... by the way, Ricochet, Becky Lynch, Chad Gable, and Nakamura. I don't think Becky Lynch is going to leave. I don't think she'll leave her husband. I just think she's going to get a kick-ass deal. You know what I mean? Because AEW wants her bad, and she could... Because the women's division anymore in WWE, it's kind of cooled down. The men's division is taken back over. The way I like it, just being honest. What do you call it? And AEW, I don't like AEW that much anyway. It's an alternative, like WCW was an alternative. But I watch AEW. I'm not really into women's wrestling. I'm just not. So whether I'm just real. I'm keeping it real. I'm Joey G. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like the women's wrestling. I'll go into it. I'll cover. Am I a big fan of it? Nah, not really. You know what I mean? I could see maybe one, two. I could see maybe 1, 2 women's matches. There's no reason to have a bunch of them. But hey, whatever. It's a freaking combat sport. I mean, I know it's scripted, but hey, give props to them women because they take hell of the shots. They take some hard slams and a lot of shit. So it is what it is. It really is what it is. Liv Morgan and Tyson Dominic Mysterio. I'm liking that. Dom's the man. He's a great heel. He knows how to get the people to hate him. And we know he's married and get out of kayfabe. Kayfabe means, people that don't like wrestling. Kayfabe means that you're protecting, you're not letting anybody else in that it's fake. Not fake. That it's scripted. I'm sorry to my wrestling guys that are up there in heaven. It's not fake. What do you call it? That it's scripted. You know what I mean? Not letting them in on the secret that it's scripted. That's what kayfabe means. You know what I mean? You're keeping it kayfabe. You're protecting the business. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm liking that. Another thing is if Ricochet, hey, he's a great wrestler, great. He wants to go to AEW so he can flip around with Will Ospreay. And Dave Meltzer can give it a friggin' 8-point rating. Geek. Can't say Dave Meltzer. When I was a young kid, Dave Meltzer, the newsletter report was the real deal. I would go to school and tell people what was going to happen, and then it happened. Like, for instance, WrestleMania 8. You know what I mean? In 1992, I was in 9th grade. I remember coming into school telling everybody what was going to happen. It was going to be a double main event. It wasn't going to be Hogan versus Flair. It was going to be Savage versus Flair, Hogan versus Sid. You know what I mean? I said it's going to be Piper. Everybody knew it was going to be Piper and Brett for the Intercontinental title anyway. But I was, telling them basically what the matches were going to be. I was like, it's going to be The Undertaker versus Jake. This is when The Undertaker was still a heel. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, and then it happened. Everybody was like, oh, it happened. Because that's when Dave Meltzer did tell the truth. You know what I mean? Most of the time. That's when he was 85% of the time he was right back then. I don't know. He also said Mabel was going to be the 6th man in the NWO. So, I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Okay. Another thing, Ricochet leaving. I don't think Becky Lynch will leave unless she gets a ton of money. She'll stay with her husband and her daughter. She wants to stay near her husband, Seth Rollins. I don't think she's going anywhere. Ricochet, yeah, he'll go around so he can do flips and all that bullshit in AEW. Kudos. Go get that money, Ricochet. Go. Ain't nothing wrong with a man making $1. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Chad Gable, I think he's better in WWE. But there's a rumor he's going. Nakamura, I definitely can see in AEW. I can see Nakamura being the AEW World Champion. Like 6 months, a year after he gets there. I mean, Nakamura is that good. WWE has dropped the ball with Nakamura. He won the friggin' Royal Rumble in 2018. I was there in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. He won the He won the Royal Rumble. And he fought AJ Styles at WrestleMania that year. At WrestleMania 34, that was a dream match. And then AJ beat him at one Styles clash. Shit like that just gets Joey G mad. It gets me cooking. But anyway, real quick, let me get on the sports here. I'm Ram, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go this long. The Mavericks, Celtics, NBA Finals. I know the Celtics are up 2-0 right now. I know. But I still got the Mavericks winning this series. There's been teams down 2-0 plenty of times. I mean, right off the top of my head. I mean, it's even hard for me to remember. I just know my history. 1976-77. Philadelphia 76ers were up 2-0 on the Bill Walton and the Portland Trailblazers. They won the first 2 games at home. Then you know what happened? The Trailblazers came back and won 4 in a friggin' row and won 6 games. That's just, and the other one has to do with the Dallas Mavericks and Miami Heat, 2005-2006. Dallas was up 2-0. They were up 2-0 on Miami. Dwayne Wade and Shaq came back, won 4 in a row. That's just in basketball off the top of my head. I mean, I know in all sports I've seen it plenty of times happen. And in basketball, maybe not the finals, but it's happened plenty of times in basketball. You know what I mean? And even just say the Mavericks go behind 0, go down 3 games to 0. It's happened in baseball. It's happened in hockey. Teams coming back, being down 3-0. I believe Luka and Kyrie and the rest of that team are talented enough to do that. It's a long shot. This is Joey G. I'm a dreamer. You know what I mean? I'm in a game called Hope. I keep hope alive like Jesse Jackson. But yeah, I can see the Mavericks coming back winning 3 in a row. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. It happened in hockey twice, both to do with the Boston Bruins. The Flyers being one of them teams, my Philadelphia Flyers. You know, I love the Florida Panthers, but I live in Philly. The Philadelphia Flyers are my squad. They were the first team to do it in hockey. They came back from a 3-0 deficit and beat Boston in the first round of the playoffs 13 years ago. It's happened in baseball one time. The Rangers. The Yankees were up 3-0 on the Red Sox in the AL Championship 2004. The Red Sox came back, won 4 in a row, really 8 in a row. They won 4 in a row, knocked the Yankees out, and then went to the World Series and won 4 in a row against the St. Louis Cardinals and won their first ever World Series. So yeah, I'm gonna go on a hunch, and I think Dallas ain't gonna fall behind 3-0. I still think Dallas is gonna win this, and I'm still calling it. Dallas in 6 or 7. Boston might have won their last game. And I know you're all thinking, oh, you're fucking crazy, Joe. What drugs you doing now? I don't do drugs, by the way, but I'm just saying from my history way back. What do you call it? I really do. I think I could see the Mavericks going on and winning 4 straight. The next 2 in Dallas, go back to Boston, win 1, come home and win it in 6. If not, they'll win it in 7. Like I said, Mavs are winning this NBA championship or 6 or 7. If they lose, you know I'll get on camera and I will say, I lost. I admit I lost. I just see the Dallas Mavericks winning it all this season. Real quick, I took up all this time talking Stanley Cup. Hey, how about them Philadelphia Phillies, too? My Philadelphia Phillies. Best team in baseball, baby. Yeah, that's right. Great weekend in England. Well, the game Sunday wasn't so freaking great. But all in all, you know what I mean? We'll be cool tonight. We'll be back on strat. Phillies are going to be great this year. And I'm even calling it now. Phillies win the World Series this season. And the Pirates, my other squad in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates, will make the playoffs. Stanley Cup, we're up 2-0. I say way like I still, you know, spend time in Florida like that, which I don't. But I do like the Florida Panthers. They're up 2-0. I think Edmonton's good. I mean, shit, Edmonton could come back and win this series. They could. You know what I mean? But they're not. It's just Florida's year. They're the best team in hockey. They are, they're that good. So, yeah, I think Florida, I don't think they'll sweep them. I think Edmonton will at least get 1 win. I'm going to say Florida in 5 or 6. Prokofsky's been playing great. Oh, my gosh. I mean, just great. The goaltending in Florida, he's playing Dominic Hasek level when Dominic was on the Sabres. You know what I mean? He's killing it. Playing Mike Richter, Patrick Raw. I mean, he's freaking killing it. He's playing like John Van Beesbrook did freaking 26 years ago. You know what I mean? He's playing great. It's Florida's year. They're winning it. Hip-hop hooray. You know what I'm saying? This is Joey G at Gana's Corner. Like I said, kind of, you know, just a review show today. But, excuse me. Also, I got Cody Rhodes, as I said, come back. I got Cody Rhodes beating AJ Styles this week in the WWE title match. Last man standing at Clash of the Castle. I'll go more into that. I do got conflicting feelings about that match. I'm hearing other things. But I'll be back on that later today or tomorrow. But this is Joey G at Gana's Corner. Notice I don't smoke on camera anymore. I wait till I'm done. So this is Joey G at Gana's Corner. Support your boy. Support your local white boy. I love everybody. God bless. And I'll see you around at the next stop. Peace.